All right, hello yogis, welcome. This is going to be a 60-minute slow flow with Mondays rolling around, new start of the week, or really anytime. This is a nice flow to do if you're kind of getting back into your practice, or it's the beginning of the week and you're just kind of starting out that practice. A nice one to do, get you feeling nice and open from head to toe. To begin, we are going to start out in an easy seat. And we'll get used to the breath here as we begin. So as always, if you'd like to sit cross-legged, if you'd like to sit on your shins, really that's up to you. Wherever helps you find a nice tall spine is where you want to be at. And let your arms rest on top of your thighs. Let your gaze head down to the floor, or maybe you close your eyes completely. Sit up as tall as you can. Melt your shoulders up, back, and down. And then see if you can just tap into this sacred pause, or taking a moment to find this sacred pause. A moment to arrive on your mat, a moment to just take everything in your external environment in, sounds, noticing anything about the air and how it feels on your skin, your clothes, and how they hang off of your skin. Just taking this time to really observe. Trying not to manipulate or change anything, but just allowing yourself to acknowledge and to be in this space. You might notice the contact points of your body and the earth. From there, grow taller out of your seat. Reach through the crown of your head, keeping the length at the back of your neck. Start to draw your awareness more inwards. Begin to notice physically how you're feeling in your body today, emotionally, energetically, spiritually, what's going on inside. When we come to our yoga practice, we often use it as a way to sort of refuel, whether it's physical practice, maybe it's something emotional we're working towards or through. It's a wonderful way to self-care. It's a wonderful way to really sit back and acknowledge what it is that we need. Every yoga practice is different. Each day that we come to our mat, it's likely that we need something out of our practice that'll be different from the day before and the day ahead of us. So a slow flow is a nice way for us to connect to the breath. It helps us to connect movement and breath as we start to build breath in the body, build heat in the body, strength through movements and transitions. Keep that idea of self-care throughout your practice today. And remind yourself that whatever it is that you're doing during your practice, whether thoughts are creeping in, negative thoughts, remind yourself gently that this is a self-care opportunity for you to learn and explore. During that learning and exploration, finding a bit of growth. With that in mind, bring your hands together at your heart, and let's take a breath in through the nose, filling up the belly and the chest. And a cleansing breath out the mouth, let it go. Let's take one more like that. Breathing in, fill all the way up. Breathing out the mouth, release. Now seal your lips, allow the breath to travel in and out through your nostrils. And slight restriction to the back of the throat. Start to find equal length in both your inhales and your exhales. And take one more breath in, getting expansive in all directions, filling up. And as you exhale, open up your eyes, let your palms relax down on top of your thighs. Take a moment to just see what you see. And then guiding your hands to your knees or your shins, Slide your hands back to your hip creases and draw your elbows together. You might gaze up towards the sky to open up the throat. As you exhale, round through your spine, bring your chin to your chest. Seated cat pose. And now moving in a flow, inhale, stretch your arms back behind you, your gaze up. Exhale, round the spine and stretch the back of the neck as you gaze down. Inhale, sliding the heels of your palms back to your hip creases, open up the neck. And exhale, rounding, letting everything coil. Now come back up to a neutral spine, heart stacks over your hips. And on a breath in, stretch your arms to the sky. Feel this length through both side bodies. And as you exhale, bring your right hand down, stretch your left arm up and then over, side body opening. Rotate your gaze up towards the left elbow. And even though we're reaching with the left fingers, try to slide your left shoulder blade back into its socket. Inhale, come back up through center, both arms reach. Exhale, bring your left hand down and stretch up and over with the left. Just let the stretch be natural at first. And then back out a little bit so you can realign yourself. Right shoulder over left, right shoulder stays plugged into its socket, and gaze heads up to the sky. And now in a flow, inhale, both arms up. Exhale, right hand down, left arm over. Inhale, both arms up and right to the other side as your right arm stretches over. Inhale, both arms up through center. As you exhale, take a twist over to your right. Bring your right hand either next to your tailbone or on your low back, your left hand to your knee. Sit up tall on a breath in, twist deeper on a breath out. Inhale, both arms stretch to the sky, and exhale, twist over to your left. Same thing here. Use the back arm to help you sit up taller. Use your exhales to help you twist deeper. Inhale, both arms stretch to the sky. And as you exhale, bring your arms down by your sides. Shifting to the top of your mat or into tabletop position. Actually, let's bring the knees about hip width distance apart, so as you would set up in tabletop. And then slide your hips back to your heels. Reach your arms forward and bring your forehead to the earth, or find a pillow with your fists, a block, or any other support here that you need. Keep your arms nice and long. Elbows will stay lifted off of the earth. On your next inhale, take your gaze forward first, and now slither on through onto your belly. Press all the way up until your arms straighten, coming into full cobra, which means that our thighs remain on the mat. Soft bend through the elbow. And now send your hips back into that child's pose. Again, just like that, gazing forward, slither on through, and then press up until your arms straighten, full cobra. And as you exhale, send your hips back to your heels, child's pose. One more time like that. Gaze forward, slither on through, press into your palms and lift up through the crown of your head. On this third round, stay here and press into the tops of your feet, lifting your thighs and your legs up off the mat for upward facing dog. And as you exhale, roll over the toes, send your hips up and back, find downward facing dog. Pedal out through your knees, shift the weight side to side. Let your head be heavy in between your arms. You can take the gaze left and right to kind of open up the back of the neck, releasing here. Gazing back towards the feet. Soft bend in your knees. Try to wrap your triceps down towards the earth. Walking your hands all the way back to your feet. Take an inhale, lift halfway, slide your shoulder heads back and down. As you exhale, forward fold, bend your knees a lot, and grab a hold of opposite elbows for ragdoll pose. Shift the weight forward, shift the weight back, side to side. Bend and straighten your legs a few times and shake out your head, yes and no. Let your fingers drop all the way down to the earth. With an inhale, lift halfway. Keep a soft bend in your knees. Stretch the crown of the head forward, the tailbone back. Exhale, bend your knees and forward fold. 2 more times like that. Inhale, lengthen. Squeeze your shoulder blades onto your back body. Exhale, fold. Let the crown of the head release. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, fold. Walk your hands out to plank this time. And lower all the way down to your belly for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Untuck your toes. Press into the tops of your feet for a baby cobra. Lift just your head and your chest. Pressure is light in the palms. As you exhale, lower your forehead back down. 2 more times like that. Press into feet first. Energize your legs. Lift your head, lift your chest, maybe lift the palms. And exhale, lengthen your forehead back down. 1 more time. Lift the head, lift the chest. Make sure your inner thighs are fired up. Option to lift your palms. And exhale, lower your forehead back to the earth. Hands remain under your shoulders. Tuck your toes under and press up to high plank, squeezing elbows in for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Send your hips up and back. Find downward facing dog. Take a breath in through your nose and a breath out to let it go. Feet together at the back of your mat. With an inhale, stretch your right leg to the sky. Toes point down towards the earth. Square your hip point. As you exhale, draw knee to nose round through your spine. Inhale, lift the leg back up. As you exhale, step your foot forward in between your hands. Find a low lunge. With your breath in, stretch your arms up. High crescent lunge. Take a moment here to square off through your hips and get high onto the ball mound of your back foot. Lengthen your tailbone down. Pull your belly in and up. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. With an inhale, get strong through your back left hamstring, so lift up onto the leg. With an exhale, bend your back knee and see if you can hover it above the earth. Now slowly lengthen the leg, back out to straighten. Good. As you exhale, send your arms back, airplane wings, chest stays lifted over the front thigh. Palms point towards the earth, but pinky fingers squeeze together. Broaden across your collarbones. Inhale, reach your arms back overhead. As you exhale, open into warrior 2. Bring the back heel down and stretch your arms out to a T. Look out over your right middle finger and look down. Make sure you can see your right big toe on the inside of the knee. Your glutes should be working and squeezing together to not only press this right knee out to the right, but to also anchor your tailbone down towards the earth. From your hips, rise up through the crown of your head. Sink a little deeper through your right knee. Flip your front palm, reverse warrior up and back. Left hand can find the back leg or wrap around the back if you like. Still lunging through that front knee, right knee stacks right over the ankle. Press firmly through the back left pinky edge side of your foot. On your exhale, bring your right forearm to your thigh. Stretch your left arm over the ear line, extended side angle. So from left pinky toe all the way to left pinky finger, there's this long line of energy. Turn your thumb up towards the sky, and then either look up at your hand or look out in front if that bothers the neck. With your bottom arm, stretch it across the belly to the back room. And now inhale, flow to reverse warrior. Same thing here. Left arm reaches across the belly. As you exhale, cartwheel your hands down. Frame the front foot. Step back to high plank. And as you inhale, shift forward, come past your wrist creases. Option to lower knees down, lower halfway to your hover, shoulders in line with elbows. Inhale, lift into low or high cobra, up to you. As you exhale, send your hips up and back. Find downward facing dog. Take a breath in through your nose. A breath out to let it go. Feet together at the back of your mat. With an inhale, stretch your left leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Point your toes down, square your hips to the earth, press away from the heels of your palms. As you exhale, draw your left knee to your nose, shoulders over wrist. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, look forward, knee to forehead, and step the foot through. Scissor hug your thighs here and stretch your arms overhead, high crescent lunge or Alanasana. So again, take a moment to feel into the squareness of your hips, the lengthening of your tailbone, left knee to stack over the left ankle, high on the ball mound of your back foot. Stay relaxed through your shoulders. Breathing in. As you exhale, bend your back knee, hover it above the earth 1 or 2 inches, and now slowly straighten the leg back out. Fire up through the hamstring. As you exhale, airplane your arms by your sides, but again, stay lifted through the belly, through the torso here, off of that front thigh. Fingers squeeze towards one another. And as you inhale, stretch the arms up, high crescent lunge again. Exhale, open into warrior 2. Bring your back heel down. Stretch your arms out to a big Texas T. Now align everything on this side, slightly twisting your upper body to the side of the room to square it all off. And then looking out over your left middle finger, check in with your front knee. Make sure that there's energy through the glutes as they squeeze together, and then down so you can lengthen through the tailbone. Inhale, flip your front palm, reverse warrior. Legs stay the same, but arms can take on variations here, either to the back leg or wrap around the back. We want to keep equal length through both our right and left side bodies. So really just reaching the arm to the back as far as we can. Now as you exhale, bring your left arm to your thigh, your right arm to stretch over your ear line, extended side angle, and then turn the thumb of your top hand to the ceiling. Rotate your right ribs to the ceiling. Pull your belly in. Squeeze your tailbone to your back heel. Bring your bottom arm across your belly. And now inhale, reverse your warrior. Bottom arm still comes across the belly. And as you exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame the foot. Step back to high plank. Either flowing through, or you can skip the vinyasa anytime and head back to down dog. Always, always up to you. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out to let it go. Feet together at the back of your mat. With an inhale, stretch your right leg to the sky. Three-legged dog, toes point towards the earth. As you exhale, knee to forehead, look forward, and step the foot in between your hands. This time, scissor hug the hips right back up into high crescent lunge. Arms reach overhead. As you exhale, airplane your wings. Come onto the ball of the front foot there, or the back foot, and then when you're ready, lift into warrior 3 pose. Airplaning our arms to help us out a little bit with the balance. Try to dial your left hip down, extend back through the heel, so leg is super strong, and reach out through the crown of your head, keeping the length through the spine. With an inhale, find length. With an exhale, soften your right knee and step back, arms reach up, high crescent lunge. As you exhale, step your left foot forward into chair, sink your hips low, look down and make sure you can see your big toes. On an inhale, lift up onto the ball mounds of your feet. Simultaneously, stretch your arms back into airplane wings. Lower your heels, and on a breath in, stretch your arms overhead, Lift your left leg with you. Find one-legged mountain. As you exhale, cross your left ankle over your right knee, hands through heart center, figure 4 seat. The tendency is to let your left hip kind of slide out to the left. Don't let it. Keep your hips square to the top of your mat. Keep your head lifted over your hips. Breathe in, breathe out. Now inhale, come back to that one-legged mountain. Left knee lifts in line with your hips. As you exhale, stretch your arms back, extend your legs back, warrior 3 pose. Bring your right hand down to a block or to your support. Bring it to the right corner of your mat, left hand to your left hip. Press away from your block and start to peel your left hip open, Ardha Chandrasana or balancing half moon pose. Stay here or stretch your left arm to the sky. Stay here or take the gaze to the left fingers. Stay here or lift your right fingers off of your block, finding support or extra balance. Maybe a hand comes to your heart. Take a breath in. And now bring your hand back to your support of the floor. Look down at your front foot, bend into the knee. See if you can land into goddess squat, toes out, heels in, hands come to heart center. Inhale, straighten arms, straighten legs for 5-pointed star. And as you exhale, turn your toes forward, reach your arms out, and keep hinging at your hip creases for a forward fold. Wide-legged forward fold here at the top of our mats. Breathing in, find length. Breathing out, fold in. As you inhale, lift halfway again. Crawl to the top of your mat. Again, turning the right toes out a little bit. Lunge deeply into the right knee for Skandasana. Hands could come to heart center or arms could open up. You could bring this right arm in front of your knee and stretch your left arm open towards the sky. When you're ready, go ahead and bring your hands to frame your front foot. Low lunge at the top of your mat. Modified side plank, either heel toe your right foot halfway down or all the way down. Lift your right arm to the sky. Take an inhale and now exhale. Reach the arm over the ear line. Come back to high plank. You can lift the hips right back to down dog or shift forward and exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, send the hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. Take a breath in and take a breath out. Change the other side just so you can see me a little bit better here in the screen. On an inhale, sweep your left leg up and back. Exhale, knee to nose, step it on through. Scissor hug the thighs and inhale, reach your arms overhead. High crescent lunge. As you exhale, airplane your arms. Lift onto the ball of the back foot and then extend the leg. Keep that back leg nice and strong. Bend your standing leg and knee as much as you need to help you find support in the balance. Arms reach beside you or hands can come to heart center. Take an inhale. Now exhale, bend your left knee and step your right toes back. Reach your arms overhead. High crescent lunge. Exhale, step the right foot up to meet the left. Hinge at your hips. Lower. Good. Inhale. Now exhale, airplane your wings. Lift your heels up off the mat for awkward chair. Lower your heels. This time, right leg is lifting with us as we come into a one-legged mountain. Flex your right foot. Pull your belly in. Breath in. And as you exhale, extend right ankle or heel over the left knee. Lower down into your figure 4 seat. Keep your hips pointed towards the top of your mat. Instead of hinging at the hips, try to stay lifted through your heart, through your chest, but sink a little bit deeper. Breath in and breath out. Now inhale, reach the arms back overhead, knee in line with your hip. As you exhale, send the leg back, reach your arms back for warrior 3 once again. This time our left hand's gonna locate a block. Bring it to the upper left corner of your mat. press away from the block to lift your torso. Bring your right hand to your right hip and peel that hip open towards me. Extend your top arm to the sky once you find steadiness in the legs. And then if you want to take this a little bit further, I like to look down first just so I know what's grounded. And then maybe left fingers come up off of the mat. You're stretching both arms equal distance away from the midline. Or challenge the balance and take the gaze up towards the fingers. Taking the gaze back down to your left foot there. Bend into your left knee and step your right toes back into goddess. Toes out, heels in, hands come to heart. Tuck your tailbone down, belly in. And now straighten through arms and legs, 5-pointed star. As you exhale, turn your toes forward. This time, bring your arms around the back. Interlace the hands. Pull your knuckles down. Lift your chest up. Soften your knees that hinge at your hip creases. Wide-legged forward fold with the chest expansion. Or Prasarita Padottanasana C. Shake out the head here. Weight into the toes or the ball mounds of the feet. Make sure your hips are in line with your heels. And there's a soft micro bend in the knees. Bring your hands under your shoulders. On an inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, bow and fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Turn your left toes out this time and crawl to the top of your mat. Skandasana. Hands either to heart center or reach your left arm in front of your shin and right arm opens up to the sky. Taking the gaze up. Pressing the back of your left arm into the back of the knee there for a little bit of extra mobility and opening. Now bring your top arm around. Let's come around to frame the left foot into low lunge at the top of the mat. Right hand's going to ground, coming onto the pinky edge side of our right foot. Heel toe the left foot either halfway down for side plank or all the way down, lifting the right hip away from the earth. Stretch the left arm over the ear line. Come back to high plank. And again, option to flow here, or you can always skip the flows. Head right back to your down dog. Let's meet there in the next couple of breaths. Inhaling and exhaling. On an inhale, shifting forward, come out into high plank position. On your exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. And bringing the arms out to a big wide V. Do the same with your legs, about mat width distance apart. Bring your chin down to the earth. Take a breath in and out here. And on your next inhale, lift everything up off the mat. So Superman. Reach your arms out, stretch out through your toes and the ball mounds of your feet. Extend your arms back behind you. Keep lifting your low ribs off the mat. Like we did in our arrow lunge before, squeeze your pinky fingers together. Palms point towards the earth. Take an inhale, reach your arms out to cactus. Extend your arms, good, pull them back. Extend your arms, good, pull them back, stay here. Drop your right elbow down, lift up. Take your left elbow down, lift up, arms by your sides, reaching back behind you. Bring your left cheek to the earth. Breath in, breath out. Bring your right cheek to the earth for a full cycle of breath in and out. Bring your chin to the mat, your hands under your shoulders, and press up and back into child's pose. Surrendering here, breathing into your back body. Balloon your kidneys, balloon the space behind your heart. And use your exhales as a way to soften, to ground and surrender. When you're ready, go ahead and guide yourself up into a tabletop. Crawl to the top of your mat, cross your ankles behind you, and extend your legs out in front of you. We're going to do a little bit of core work before we come into our final standing balance and our final hip openers. So taking your back all the way to the floor, you can soften your knees and grab behind if you like. Good. Go. All right, beginning with extending our legs to the sky. You could do a couple of different options here. To modify, you could grab onto the long edge sides of your mat, or you could bring your hands underneath of your bum. Flex your feet and bring your legs together as if it was two legs became one here. Breathe in, and now begin to lower your legs for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold here at the hover for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift your legs for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stay for 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Release your hands. Bring them out to a big Texas T. Your palms will point down so you can kind of grip the earth with your hands. Breathe in, and now exhale. Legs stay together. Drop them to the right for 10, 9, 8, 7. If you want, you can modify by bending the knees. Let's stay for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Drop it to the left for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Nice work. Bring the knees into the chest. Give yourself a well-deserved hug there. Massage in the low back. Some rock side to side. Cross your ankles. Bring your hands underneath of your knees. Start to rock and roll forward and back. Find enough momentum. We're going to meet in a plank position. So as you cross your feet, plant your palms and step back. Lower down onto forearms for forearm plank. Wrist in line with your elbows. Spread your palms really wide here. Don't let your hips drop or droop. Lift your hips in line with your shoulders. We're going to alternate tapping our knees. Right, left, right, left. Keep going. 3. Good. For 2 and 1. Both sides. Come back to your forearm plank. Lower your hips. And then draw your heartstrings forward. Release your toes. Sphinx pose. Squeezing the shoulder blades onto your back body. Open up your chest. An option to take the chin to the chest. Stretch out the neck. Right ear to right shoulder. And left ear to left shoulder. We take some half circles or figure 8 patterns with the neck. And then go ahead and release your forehead to the mat. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Press up and back into child's pose. Knees could be wide or knees could be together. Up to you. A few rounds of breath here to relax and release through the low back. From child's pose, reach your fingers forward to the top of your mat, press into your palms, tuck your toes, and lift your hips up and back. Find downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here to pedal out through your knees. Shift the weight side to side. Feet together at the back of your mat. With an inhale, stretch your right leg up and back. Exhale, bring your right knee over to your left elbow. Pause. Extend the leg through. Drop your back heel down and lift your left arm to the sky. Fallen triangle, pressing the hips open, maybe gaze, heads up towards the fingers. Bring the left hand back under your shoulder. Retract your right knee and send the leg back up, three-legged dog. Stay here or bend your knee and peel open through your hip, squeezing the heel towards your glute. Option to stay here or lift up onto your left toes. Step your right toes behind your left shin, and for Wild Thing, lift your hips, stretch your right arm over the ear line, opening through the whole spine, especially the hips in the back. Bring the right hand back under the shoulder, right foot next to the left, downward facing dog. Pedal out the knees, shifting the weight side to side. Same right leg is going to lift again. As you breathe in, lift it up. As you breathe out, step your foot forward in between your hands. Now this time, use the momentum. Come off of the back foot and come into one-legged mountain pose. Left knee heads in line with the hip. Hands come to heart center. Grab a hold of your left knee, open it out to the left, and then slide the left foot either to the right thigh above the knee, or if you can't lift it that high, just slide it below, right to the calf there for tree pose, Vriksasana. Press your palms together with meaning, broadness across your collarbones, proudness through your chest. Ground down through your right foot and lift up through the crown of your head. Squeeze your glutes together and press that left knee back. Anchor down, rise up. Bring your left knee forward. Soften your standing leg quite a bit. Tip forward and extend your leg back until it touches the floor. Reach your arms up, high crescent lunge, breathe in. Exhale, frame the front foot. Step back to down dog or step back to plank and flow here. Again, always up to you. Listen to your shoulders and listen to what they're saying back. Pedal out your knees a couple of times. Shift the weight. Shake out your head. Releasing any tension. On an inhale, sweep your left leg to the sky. Three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. Pause. Extend the leg through. Drop your back heel and inhale. Lift your top arm to the sky. Fallen star or fallen triangle. Bring your right hand back under the shoulder. Retract your left knee and lift the leg back up. Three-legged dog. Bend your knee. Peel open through your hips. Stack the left hip on top of the right. Stay here or come onto the ball mound of your right foot. Look to the right and step your left toes behind your right shin. Keep your right leg straight and press your hips to the sky. Option to let your left arm drip over your ear line like a willow tree. And now coming back around, left hand under the shoulder, left leg back up to the sky, set it back down, downward facing dog. The same left leg is going to lift again. On an inhale, lift it up and back. Exhale, step the foot in between your hands for lunge. Come high onto your fingertips or use your blocks here. Soften your back knee so you've got that momentum to lift into one-legged mountain. Right knee comes into the chest. Hands come to heart center. Take your right knee out to the right. Find an external rotation in the leg. And then set the foot either below or above the kneecap for tree pose. Squeeze the glutes together to anchor the tailbone down. Fan your fingers wide, pressing the palms together. Long line of energy from right and left elbow. Lift up to the crown of your head. Find a focal point, something you can stare at that's not moving. And then as you're ready, bring your right knee forward. Extend the leg back, draw your torso forward until you re-arrive in that crescent lunge. Arms reach up to the sky, maybe a little back bend as the gaze heads up. And then exhale, bring the hands down, frame the front foot. Last chance for a vinyasa if you want it. Otherwise, lift your hips and we'll meet in downward facing dog. Big inhale. Full exhale. On an inhale, lift up onto your tiptoes. As you exhale, lower down to your knees. Cross your ankles. Sit back and bring your feet through. Try to bring your shins parallel to the earth, or just begin with toes tapping the earth. Hands come behind the knees. And then eventually maybe one leg or both legs come up. Shins are parallel. Shoulders are down the back. You can keep your hands underneath here for support, or stretch your arms out to the horizon. Spread the toes, flex the feet if that helps you to find more energy in the legs. Keep sliding your shoulder heads up, back, and down. Take another breath in. And now exhale. You can lengthen your legs out if you need to adjust on your mat here like I do, scooting to where you've got room behind you. And then lowering on down to your back. Take a couple of breaths here. Keeping the knees bent, we'll walk the feet in. Heels will land underneath of the knees. Arms lengthen down by your sides. Let your palms point towards the earth. Make sure your knees are pointed directly up towards the sky. Feet should be about hip width distance. And with an inhale, press through your feet. Lift your hips. Lift your spine, lift your arms up overhead for bridge pose. Press into the big toe mound of each foot. And then exhale, lower your arms and lower your hips back down, one vertebra at a time. We'll do that a couple more. As you inhale, press through the feet, lift your hips, lift your arms up and overhead. And then as you exhale, lower your hips, lower your arms, nice and slow. Last round, as you inhale, press through both feet, lift your hips, lift your arms up overhead. If this time you'd like to stay, you can bring your arms back down. Option to interlace your hands underneath of your back body. Press down through the backs of your upper arms, your elbows, your forearms. Keep squeezing your thighs together towards one another. Imagine you've got a block in between there, and you're pressing your thighs around the block. Knees point straight ahead. Inhale. And now exhale, release your grip if you had one. Roll down one vertebra at a time. Hug your knees into your chest. To release the quadriceps, we'll take happy baby, sending the knees out wide and reaching up for ankles or feet, and finding movement or stillness once you get there. Stay grounded through your head, your neck, and your tailbone in this posture. And gathering the knees back together. Reach your arms out to goalpost or a T. Let your knees head over to the right side. Take your gaze over to the left, staying grounded through both shoulders. Any variations with the legs, if you want to cross one leg over the other, or maybe lengthen one leg. Those are all welcome here. Find what works for your body today. Anywhere where you can find a supine twist. Bring your knees back to center. And let your knees fall over to the left. Take your gaze over to the right. Breath in, let your belly inflate. Breath out, surrender to the twist. And come back through center. Wrap your arms around your shins. Grab for opposite elbows. Squeeze everything in and then keep the grip, but let your head and shoulders rest back down onto the earth for a breath in. And then exhale, open arms and legs, nice and long, wide on your mat here for final resting pose, Shavasana. Snuggle your shoulder blades in towards one another. Make a shelf for your heart. Let your feet fan out wider than your heels. Let's take a breath in together. Fill up from the bottom to the top. Exhale to let it go. For the next several rounds of breath, let your body relax. Let your body be still. Feel the length of your spine, the heaviness of your head, hips, and heels. Completely surrender. Deep peace to all of you. I do encourage you to stay in this space. Stay in silence for as long as your body will allow. This is the time that your body uses to integrate everything that we just did. If you're ready to begin moving again, start to deepen your breath. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes, roll your wrists and your ankles, move your head and neck. And then let larger movements come in, bending the knees, the elbows, stretching arms and legs overhead, big full body stretch. Eventually, we'll meet on our right sides in the fetal position, so hugging the knees in. Take your time to roll there. We do this side so that we protect the heart and we don't smush it in any way, physically or energetically. And we take this time to really just thank ourselves for practicing, for taking the time out of our busy schedule to give back to our mind, our body, and our spirit. Press down with your top arm, lengthen your top leg, and come up to a nice, easy seat. Bring your hands together, bring your eyes to close, and bow your head slightly towards your prayer hands, returning to your nose breath. Self-care doesn't always have to be a way to make everything right. In fact, just keeping a routine is a way for us to care for ourselves. And when we're able to really take care of ourselves, we're able to take care of others that may need our helps. We have people who are dependent on us. In order to be fully 100% there for them, we first and foremost need to take care of ourselves. So use yoga as a way to take care of yourself. Use breathing techniques, a sleeping routine, or whatever you have going on in your home practice. Make sure that you congratulate yourself for having that routine and for keeping yourself focused in, staying present in each and every moment, each and every task, each and every day. Thank you for sharing your energy and breath with me today. May peace, may love, may light be felt within each and every one of you. Bless you and everyone that you meet. Namaste. Thank you all so much for sharing your practice with me. Again, my name is Sarah. If you have any questions or would like to connect, please leave any comments in the comment section on my channel here. And again, hopefully we will see each other very soon. But until I do see you, namaste.